La, la, la. Oh, did you see my text about Kristen? About Norway person
Yes.
and the time?
Yeah,
Couldn't you meet earlier?
God, I can't remember.
Oh, you're good. Could you meet at 1 or 2?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tuesday?
On
Okay.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Let's do.
Because she said the earlier the better for her. Because if it's like 11 o'clock at night. If it's at like 3 here. So 1's fine?
What's that?
1's fine?
1 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I talked to Ellie on Tuesdays.
And I'll send you the blog post today. I just didn't get to it yesterday. I was working on a manuscript that killed my soul.
Oh.
It wasn't like the writing that was hard. It was like the fact I like before references, and it took me 2 hours.
Oh.
I was just like, yeah, editing references. Yeah, because journals don't like to have the same style for references. So each time you resubmit, oh. It's so loud. Okay. Here at Common Bond, today we're going to be kind of doing like an all body flow. And if you have two blocks, it'll be super helpful for today's practice. If you don't have them, use books, whatever you have available, doesn't really matter. Just something to bring around a little bit closer to you. Start actually standing today. So find your feet about hip width apart. You can soften into the knees a little bit. Allow the eyes to close. Finding a more relaxed mountain pose. No need to find that nice engaged version, but really just allow the arms to fall alongside the body any way they want. Once again, soften into the knees a little bit. Maybe scoop the hips a little underneath you. Lift the chin just a millimeter, just to find that nice long line from the crown of the head all the way down to the lower back. And really just starting to begin that practice as always here at the beginning of this yoga practice, this yoga flow. Just noticing how your body feels in this moment. Where you feel open, where you feel tightness, aches, pains. Just see what the body is telling you right now in this moment. What you may need in your practice today. Notice that internal world, that stream of consciousness that comes flying in at us. Just start to pick up what's going on and the thoughts there. Start to notice the breath. The way it enters the body when it comes in. How it expands the belly slightly outward up. The rib cage expands in all directions. Maybe the shoulders slightly lift up. And with that exhale, everything softens towards the mat. A release. Gently starting to grow that breath. Just taking a little bit of a deeper breath in that you maybe have taken today. Trying to fill up a little bit more in the belly, the chest, the lungs. Get that nice, delicious exhale. And just take that a couple more times, inhaling to fill up. Exhale to release. Maybe noticing at each round you're able to find a little bit more space, a little bit more room to take a bigger inhale. Allowing for a more relaxing exhale. And as you take these deep rounds of breath, notice how the movement in the body has grown. That deeper expansion outwards on that breath in, that lift up higher towards the ceiling. And that deeper sink down to the ground with that exhale. Take 2 more rounds of those deep breaths here. And starting to begin a slow process to wake up the body. First starting with the neck and working our way down. Take an inhale. Exhale to drop the chin towards the chest, stretching through the back of the neck. Starting to take one long, slow roll through the neck, inhaling all the way through the right side, taking that neck all the way back as the gaze lifts up towards the ceiling. And exhale, roll down the left-hand side. Taking that in the opposite direction. One giant circle. Inhale up through the left. Left here will come to the left shoulder as you bring the head all the way back. And exhale, roll down to the right. Inhale to bring the chin, the head back up to neutral. Moving to the shoulders. Inhale, roll the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Taking that again. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, down and back. Switching direction this time. Inhale to roll the shoulders back. Bring them up to the ears. And exhale to roll them forward. Take that again. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Rising up to the ears. Exhale, roll forward. Start to pull the shoulder blades together. Maybe a look down at the ground. Playing with balance a little bit. So you start to just draw some small circles with the hips. Noticing how the feet have to work a little bit differently as we move here. More weight comes to the inside and the outside of the feet. You start to make those circles a little larger, making up the hips a little bit here. So you're starting to do some of your larger circles. About halfway through directions of the circles, so taking those large movements. And you just allow the upper body to be heavy, really just moving from the hips. So just a little smaller than so until you come to a spot. Standing at neutral. This time coming to the feet. So flex the toes up. Feel all points, those four corners of the feet ground into the mat here as the toes lift up. Take a round of breath here. Gaze can just help support you towards the mat just to help keep your balance. And switch sides. Take the toes back into the mat and lift up the heels. You can come up high into the toes if that feels good for the feet here. Just waking them up a little bit. Take an inhale. And exhale, set the heels back down. And start to take the feet about the width of your mat. Soften into the knees. You're just going to start to shake from side to side, allowing the arms to be heavy as they swish side to side. Allow the torso to twist over to the side naturally. You're just moving from the torso here, from the arms. Your hands will gently slap the glutes. If you want, you can get a little bit faster here, swing the arms. Feels like the arms are going to want to sway away from you. Start to build up some wind. Making up the arms here. You can get even faster if you like. Seems a little silly. Someone's watching you, don't worry about it. It's always brings a smile to my face when I do this. Maybe you notice that too. Just this playful awakening of the body. You're ready to start to slow down. Slowly start to come to neutral. Bring the feet a hip distance apart again. Still softening into the knees. Pick up the toes like we were doing earlier before. Press through those four corners of the feet. With that engagement in the feet, root the toes into the mat. Feel the feet still nice and engaged here. Hands interlace them behind the head. Pull the elbows open, opening through the chest a little bit here. Taking an inhale. You can keep your eyes closed here if you like. Knees are bent. And exhale, start to draw the elbows towards each other as you start to curl the spine inwards, dropping the head, getting a nice little stretch in the back of the neck. Maybe you notice how it reverberates down the spine. Inhale, open up the elbows. Maybe pull pull them back, opening the chest up towards the ceiling a little bit. Exhale, chin to chest, curl the elbows in. Navel pulls in, engage the core a little bit. Knees can still be nice and bent. Inhale, open up the elbows. Maybe you reach the arms out towards the side here. Bring the hands back towards the head. Exhale, curl it in, tuck it in. Take one more round just like that. Inhale, open up. Maybe reach the arms out towards the side. Exhale, bring it in. Arch the spine, curl it in. Hold here for a round of breath. Just breathe in here. And inhale, slowly start to roll up. Open up the elbows. Reach them up towards the ceiling. Bring the palms to touch. Use an exhale to carry the hands down to the heart. Find that nice engaged mountain pose here, so feet really rooting down, pressing through those four corners, gripping the mat with your toes. Nice strong legs here. Hips are slightly tucked, lower belly pulls in, engage the core. Pull shoulder blades back and down. Finding an open chest here. Reach the chin slightly up. Create as much length here as you can in the body. Much room, space. One more round of breath here. Maybe start to blink the eyes open. And starting to flow a little bit through some half sun salutations. Maybe soften into the knees a little bit. Inhale, scoop the arms up. Exhale, keep that bend in the knees as you start to hinge forward. Bring the hands down to your forward fold. Inhale carries you up for your halfway lift. Hands underneath knees, pressing into the shins. Pull the crown of the head forward, lower belly in. Take an inhale. And exhale, bend back into the knees, come to your feet. With the knees still bent, inhale, sweep the arms up, stand tall, straighten through the legs like you're catching away, palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down through the heart center. Bring the arms to your side. Inhale, bend into the knees, scoop the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Slight bend to the knees. Inhale, catch that wave, reach up, stand tall. Exhale, bring the hands to heart. Take a round of breath in here. Starting to move into some full sun salutations with the body a little bit more awake in the sun salutations. We'll bring some more. Inhale, scoop up, sweep arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come into your fold. Legs can be straight or slightly bent or deep bend, doesn't matter. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that length through the crown of the head, down the spine. Exhale, fold, bend into the knees. Plant the hands. Step both feet back, meeting in plank. You can take this knees lifted, knees down, doesn't matter. Wherever you're at, shoulders are stacked above wrist. Really press into the hands, fingers are spread nice and wide. Find a slight arch of the upper back. Pull the heels towards the mat. They won't touch, but they will engage the lower body. Hips are slightly scooped underneath you. I'll hold here for a couple of breaths to warm up the core. And once again, knees down at any time. Another option to engage the core a little bit more is use your inhale to lift. The heels come up high onto the toes, scoop the hips underneath you a bit more. The upper body won't move at all. And exhale, set the heels back down. Maybe you take that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, release. Drop to the knees. Take a round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, press into the hands. Arch the spine. Drop the head. Inhale to neutral. Walk the hands, hand front forward. Realign the shoulders back over wrists. Maybe pick up the tops of the feet. Inhale, core in. Exhale, lower chest and belly down. Set the hips into the ground. Walk the hands underneath the chest. Maybe just take the forehead to the mat for a round of breath. And before we lift into baby cobra, really pull those elbows towards the rib cage. Engage the shoulders, pull the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, start to lift up from the heart, trying to keep that crown of the head pulling forward to keep that length in the spine. Exhale. Taking that rolling cobra 2 more times. Inhale, shoulder blades engage. Lift up, keep that length. Exhale, release. One more round here. Use your breath. Exhale. And take your own variation here. You can come back on your inhale to your baby cobra, or maybe you start to press into the hamstring through the arms. It's like micro bend in the elbows. For full cobra, if you take full cobra, really pull the shoulder blades together. So the heart pulls in between the arms. Lower belly is engaged to help protect the lower belly. Wherever you're at, you can exhale, come through tabletop, or tuck the toes, lift the knees, and send the hips up and back for your first down dog. So again, take a nice generous bend in the knees here. Take a couple of breaths. Notice where your weight is in your hands. Really try to press down through the base of the knuckles. Fingertips are still spread nice and wide here. Elbows are rotating towards each other. Biceps are rotating forward to create room in between the ears and the shoulders. You can straighten the legs as much as you want. One more on the breath. 11. Exhale, bend into the knees and forward. Slowly walk the feet to meet the hands, meeting in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees. Inhale, scoop up, stand up. Palms meet. Exhale to the heart. One more round of breath here at center. Taking 2 more rounds of the Sun Salutation to heat up the body, warm up, wake up. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Plant the hands. Inhale, step both feet back. Meeting your plank, knees down or up. If you're in lifted plank, inhale, come up high into the toes. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Exhale, lower chest and belly down to the mat. Wherever you're at in your plank. Hands underneath chest. Inhale, back bend to forward. And exhale, transition to down dog. Pause here in your down dog for 3 breaths. Exhale, bend into the knees, lift forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soften into the knees. Inhale, scoop up. Catch that weight. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here for a breath. Next, inhale moves you through your next round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Step it back to plank. Inhale, come up high into the toes. Exhale, bend into the elbows, squeeze them in towards the rib cage, lower down. Inhale, back bend the toes. Exhale, your transition to down dog. Breathe back. Exhale, bend into the knees. Look forward. Step or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sink, melt. Inhale, sweep up, rise up. Exhale, come to heart. Maybe close the eyes here. Take 3 rounds of breath. Noticing anything that hasn't changed in the body. You notice more warmth, more space, more mobility. Any change in the thoughts in the mind. You're more present here in this moment. Or still drifting off into that stream of consciousness that's easily for us to get trapped into. Moving on, inhale, reach up. Bring the gaze up towards the fingertips, blink the eyes open. Exhale, in forward, down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time, bend the knees. Only step the right foot back. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Press the top of the foot into the mat. Don't move into your Anjaneyasana or lunge just yet. Trying to create this strong foundation first before you come up. Make sure that knee is stacked above ankle. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Start to press into that inside of that left foot. And also squeeze the thighs towards the midline, finding that nice strong base. Start to come up onto the fingertips, reach the crown of the head forward, and inhale, slowly start to roll up from there, keeping the hips square. You can bring the hands to heart center, to the thigh. If you reach the arms up, try not to keep them too close to each other, but take a nice wide distance in between the hands, allowing yourself to be able to pull the shoulders a little bit more down the spine. Breathing into the hip flexor here. One more round of breath. Inhale. Exhale, send the hands down to frame the foot. Either place the right hand into the mat or to a block if you have it handy. And inhale, start to scoop the left arm up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the left shoulder back a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, set that hand down. Set the block to the side. Come up onto the fingertips. Tuck the right toes, lift the back knee. Inhale. And exhale, step the foot forward. In between sides, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Deep inhale here in your forward fold. Exhale, bend into the knees. Left foot steps back this time. Drop that knee down, untuck the toes. Find that strong foundation first. Knee above ankle, take an inhale. Exhale, right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Press to the inside of that right foot. Squeeze the thighs towards each other and come up onto the fingertips. And use your next inhale to rise up from there. Find your hands wherever you like. If you reach them up towards the ceiling, take them nice wide apart and pull the shoulders down. One more round of breath here. Next exhale carries you down to the mat. Find that block or the mat. Left hand plants into the ground. Inhale, sweep that right arm up towards the ceiling. Open twist. Take an inhale. You exhale, pull that shoulder back a little bit more. Round the breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Frame the foot again. Tuck the left toe. Lift the knee up. Come onto the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, bring it to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale to the left. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, come back into your foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Breath in here in your forward fold. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the right foot back again. This time, keeping that knee lifted. Also find both blocks to frame that foot to bring the mat a little bit closer to you. Square off the hips here, so still pulling the left hip back, right hip down. Pulling that heel towards the back of the mat. Left knee stacked above ankle. If you want to find a little bit more power here in the legs, you can lift the chest slightly off the thighs, maybe bring the hands to heart center. Still trying to press through that inner edge of the left foot. Core is also engaged here, lower belly in. And to come into your high lunge, take an inhale. Exhale, bend slightly into that right knee. And inhale, scoop up from there with that knee bend. Maybe you have to walk that foot in a little bit just to find the distance that you want here in your stance. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, press right hip forward, left hip back, square off. Bring the hands to the heart. Knit the ribs in. Hips are slightly scooped underneath you. Take an inhale. And if you like, exhale, you can start to straighten that leg back, pulling the heel down towards the mat. It won't touch, but just getting that back leg nice and straight. Always feel free to bring that step bend in. Breathing here in your high lunge. One more on the breath. Nice strong leg. Exhale, bend a little bit back into that right knee. Try to bounce up and down a little bit, maybe with your breath. When you're on your up bounce, really pressing into that left foot. Kick that right leg up. Maybe you have to balance. Maybe you don't like me. Bringing that hip in line with the knee. Drop the right hip, lift the left hip slightly. Right foot is flexed, toes point up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, set that foot down. Taking that to the opposite side. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Left foot steps back this time. Keeping that knee lifted, maybe finding your box. Framing that foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, right hip pulls back, left hip presses down. Pulling back through that left heel. Once again, you have the option to sink a little bit into more power, more strength. First, coming up onto the fingertips, lift the chest off the thighs. Maybe bring the hands to heart center. Lower belly in. Breathing here. Maybe transitioning into that high lunge. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Inhale, start to lift the torso up. Maybe step that back foot in a little bit. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, pull right hip back, left hip forward. Still keeping that nice little bend in the left knee here. Scoop the hips underneath you. Knit the ribs inward. You can bring the hands to heart center there. Inhale. You'll pull that heel towards the mat, straightening through the left leg. High crescent lunge. Take 2 rounds of breath here. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Maybe begin that bounce. Need a little bit more strength into that right foot. Maybe look down to help you balance. And up that up bounce, pressing up. Maybe this side you're able to catch yourself. Dropping left hip, lifting up the right hip. Flexing the left foot. Left hip in line with left knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, slip that foot down. Take a round of breath here at center. Take another. Building on that sequence a little bit. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees. Right foot steps back. Find your low lunge. Square off the hips. Find that nice solid base. On that inhale, maybe bend a little bit into that right knee. Scoop the arms up. High lunge. Find your adjustments here, that alignment in the body. Distance in between the feet, or how wide the feet are. Straightening through that right leg. Exhale. Stomp it down towards the mat. Square off the hips. Maybe start to come into a light twist here. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to rotate the chest over towards the left, opening up the arms towards the sides. Breathing here, keeping those hips squared is going to help you stay balanced here. Squeezing those thighs towards the midline. Nice, strong, powerful legs here. Take an inhale. You exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And inhale, slowly start to untwist. Exhale, bend into that right knee. Begin that bounce. Find that strength in that left foot. On the nut bounce, carry that knee up. Maybe you take an inhale. You exhale, slowly start to kick that leg behind you, coming into warrior 3 as the torso hinges forward, creating a line from the crown of the head all right foot down. Square off the hips towards the mat. You can also find blocks here to help support you. Still pressing in through that inside of that left foot. One more round of breath here. Exhale, slow and control. Bring that right foot next to the left. Maybe in your foot. Maybe you bend a little bit in the knees. Sway side to side. Thumbs up and down. Just find some ease here. Both in the body and the mind. Not trying to take all of this too seriously. Coming back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, meet the mat. Pause here in your forward fold for a round of breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, meet up. Inhale, rise towards the ceiling. Exhale, meeting the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the knees. Left foot steps back this time. Find your nice solid base for your low lunge. Exhale, soften into that left knee. Inhale, reach up, press that lunge. Find the width in between the feet that you want. Maybe start to straighten back through that left leg. Find squared off hips, core tucked in, knee above ankle, thighs squeezing into that midline. Inhale here. The exhale, start to come into that twist, rotating the chest over towards the right, opening up the arms. Once again, still focusing on squaring out with the hips, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, squeezing thighs towards each other to help keep you supported. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Rotate back to center. Inhale. Exhale, soften into that back knee. Bringing that pulse up and down. Find strength on the up bounce and kick up to your balancing posture. Maybe you stay here. Inhale. Exhale, start to kick that leg behind you, finding warrior 3 as the torso aligns with that extended leg. Flex the left foot, reach the heel back, press through the inner edge of that right foot. Always feel free to find the blocks underneath your hands. Breathing here. Inhale. And exhale, slow as controlled as you can, bring that foot down to meet the right. Ragdoll it, bend into the knees, drop the torso. Begin that shake side to side, bounce up and down. Come to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, take it up towards the mat one more time. Towards the center. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center as you continue to fold back down. Exhale, bend deeply into the knees. Bring the fingertips into the mat. Lift up the heels slightly. Use your next exhale, start to bend the knees, lower them down towards the mat. Coming into this little curled up ball. Release the head towards the inside of the thighs, using the fingertips to support you. If you want to balance a little bit, you can just wrap the arms around the knees as you curl in. One more round of breath here. Lower the fingertips back down to the mat. Slowly start to drop the knees onto the ground. Untuck the feet. Sit the hips back just for a moment. Then start to meet in tabletop. Just a transition. Lower down to the forearms. Drop the belly, start to straighten the legs at the same time. Starting to find Sphinx pose, moving into the lower back here. Really pressing the forearms, the palms into the mat on an inhale. Exhale to pull the chest in between the arms. Slight engagement of the lower belly here to prevent dumping into the lower back. Allowing that spine to be neutral, the head to be neutral, not looking straight forward or straight down. Right in between. Maybe it helps to look right in front of the fingertips here. And you can stay in this place, breathing into the lower back. If you want to move into the hips a little bit, you can start to walk that right knee out toward the side. So your hip will align with the knee, and the knee will align with the ankle. Flex the foot so the toes point out towards the side as well. And just breathe here. more round of breath here. Now another option from here is to come into the twist. So you can reach that right arm forward, start to slide, thread that left arm underneath the right, reaching it over towards the right hand side of the mat. You start to inhale, open up the chest towards the ceiling as the right arm reaches towards the left hand side of the mat. So now we're looking up. You can bend that bottom leg in if that makes this just a little easier. When you close the eyes. One more round of breath. Next inhale carries that right arm up, clasping the palms together, and then reaching that right arm back towards the top of the mat. And then the right forearm. Straighten that right leg back behind you. Take a moment here in your Sphinx. Inhale, press into the forearms and palms. Exhale, pull the chest forward. Core engage. And then from the space, maybe start to take the left knee out towards the side. Finding hips, knee to ankle, foot flex, toes point up. Breathing into the inside of the thigh. One more round of breath here. If you want to come into that twist, to bring more weight into that right forearm, so you reach the left arm forward, lifting up the elbow, so you can start to slide that right arm, reach it over towards the left, all the way over until you come onto the shoulder. When you're ready, take an inhale, start to reach that left arm up and all the way over towards the right, coming into your twist. Find ease here, close the eyes, maybe bring that bottom knee in, or keep that leg straight. Just find what you need here in this twist, get what you need out of it. One more under breath. Next inhale carries that arm, left arm up and over to meet the right palm. Then start to reach the left arm forward. Plant the forearm. On thread the right arm. And plant the right forearm. Straighten that left leg behind you. Meet one more round of breath in and out in your Sphinx. Inhale, root down. Exhale, pull the heart through. Inhale. And exhale, lower everything down to the mat. Bring the forehead down. Maybe bring the arms beside you. One round of breath here. Start to plant the hands underneath the chest. Tuck the toes. Squeeze the elbows towards the rib cage. Start to lift the hips off the mat. Inhale, press into the hands, lift up to your tabletop. Exhale, walk the knees in a little bit, drop hips to heels, lift the torso up. Drop the hips to one side. Swing the legs out in front of you. From here, just lower your spine down to the mat. Down to your sides, feet planted into the mat. Close the eyes. Take a round of breath in. One more. Coming into a more gentle twist here. Take an inhale. Follow. Around, in and out. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, carries them over down to the left. Around the breath. Inhale, knees to center. Start to reach the feet towards the top of the mat, coming into wind releasing pose. Flex both feet here at first. Inhale, start to pull the right knee towards the belly, or wrap the arms somewhere along the leg, the knee, the shin, the back of the leg, doesn't matter. Take an inhale. And exhale as much as you can. Pull that knee closer in towards that side belly. Next, exhale, release the hands, reach that leg forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, carry the left knee towards the belly. Reach the arms, grab onto some point along the leg. Take an inhale. And exhale, pull it further in, keeping that right foot flexed. Next, exhale, release it down. Plant both feet into the mat. Coming into that dead bug posture, just reaching the arms, legs up towards the ceiling, allowing the lower back to ground into the mat, shoulders to ground into the mat. Just allow the fingertips to fall down. You don't have to flex the feet here. Allow the knees to soften. Just allowing blood to return to the heart, to be renewed and sent back out to those limbs. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Next, inhale, find a little bit more activation, really reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet up towards the ceiling. Heels point up, toes press down. Exhale out. Take an inhale. And exhale, slow and control to lower the limbs out in all directions. Setting up for Shavasana. Take up as much space as you possibly can here. Sit up in any configuration that feels comfortable for the body. You walk the shoulders a little bit towards each other. Coming more onto the back of the head, so you find more length in the neck, through the throat. Allowing the eyes to close. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Release breath. Allow the body to melt into the mat, gravity pressing you down. Notice how the body feels from beginning to end of this practice. Allow every inch of your body here to soften. The facial muscles, shoulders, neck, core, hips, arms, fingers, legs, feet, toes. Giving a chance for your body to completely restore here. As you found some newfound space in the body, and also in the mind, a little more space to just be, to notice. To approach your thoughts, your feelings with more kindness, acceptance, awareness. I invite you to stay here as long as possible in this space of restoration and reflection. The light within me honors and respects the light within all of you out there. Namaste.